The jungle was unnaturally quiet that night. Normally, the swamp at the edge of the river would echo with the croaks of frogs and the shrill cries of unseen birds. But now, silence hung heavy in the air, as if nature itself was holding its breath. A team of researchers had set up camp near the old excavation site, their tents glowing faintly under the silver light of the moon. Among them was Dr. Marlowe, a paleontologist whose obsession with prehistoric predators bordered on madness. He had been warned not to tamper with the fossils buried deep in the marshlands. Legends spoke of a beast that had once ruled these waters, a Spinosaurus unlike any other. This one was whispered to be cursed. Dr. Marlowe had ignored the warnings, driven by ambition. His team had unearthed fragments of enormous bones, but what caught his attention most was a strange, pulsating green substance trapped within the fossilized teeth. Against protocol, he had it removed and stored in a containment vial. The liquid seemed alive, almost venomous, glowing faintly in the dark. That night, as a storm rolled over the horizon, Marlowe stood before the excavation pit, clutching the vial in his trembling hands. Rain lashed down, thunder split the skies, and lightning illuminated the monstrous shape of the skeleton in the ground. With a reckless thrill, he poured the venomous liquid onto the remains. At first, nothing happened. Then the earth trembled. The bones shifted, cracking and snapping as if awakening from an ancient sleep. The team screamed, rushing back in terror as a colossal claw tore through the soil. Mud exploded upward, and with a deafening roar, the beast pulled itself free. Towering above the trees, its crocodile-like jaws dripped with glowing green venom, sizzling as it hit the ground. Its eyes burned a fiery orange, filled with hunger and rage. "Impossible," Marlowe whispered, frozen in awe and horror. The Venom Spino had returned. Its body was a grotesque fusion of dinosaur and toxin. Thick scales shimmered dark under the rain, while the jagged sail on its back rose like a nightmarish crown. But it was the venom that struck fear. Thick green saliva oozed constantly from its mouth, each drop burning holes into the wet earth. The beast opened its jaws wide, unleashing a roar so powerful it rattled the trees and shook the very ground. Birds fled in a frenzy, and the storm seemed to answer with another crash of thunder. The Venom Spino moved forward, each step heavy enough to send ripples across the flooded marsh. The researchers scattered in panic, their flashlights cutting through the dark as they ran. One man slipped in the mud, turning just in time to see the massive head lunge toward him. Green venom sprayed across his chest, burning through fabric and skin alike. His screams echoed through the jungle, silenced only by the crunch of bones as the Spino devoured him whole. Dr. Marlowe, heart pounding, stumbled backward. He realized the legends were true. This wasn't just a predator. It was nature's nightmare reborn. And he was the one who had unleashed it. The Venom Spino lifted its head to the stormy sky and roared again, venom dripping like rain, announcing to the world that its reign of terror had begun. The jungle did not sleep that night. After the Venom Spino's awakening, the air was filled with the stench of burning venom and the echoes of its thunderous roars. Dr. Marlowe and the few survivors ran deeper into the forest, their flashlights cutting narrow beams through the heavy rain. Every crack of a branch, every splash in the mud made them flinch. The predator was not behind them. It was everywhere. The Spino moved silently despite its size, a shadow among the trees. Its glowing saliva marked its path, leaving sizzling burns across the foliage. Suddenly, a scream erupted from behind. One of the men had been dragged into the darkness, his cries ending in a wet crunch. "Keep moving," Marlowe shouted, though his voice shook. His obsession had given birth to this monster, and now it hunted him like prey. The survivors stumbled into an abandoned wooden watchtower left by poachers years ago. Its walls were half broken, but it offered height, safety, or so they thought. They climbed quickly, their breaths ragged, eyes wide with terror. From above, they could see the jungle swaying unnaturally. Trees bent, birds scattered, and then silence. One of the researchers whispered, "Maybe it's gone." But before the words were finished, the Spino's massive head burst through the side of the tower. Venom sprayed in all directions, hissing as it ate through wood. The men screamed, grabbing weapons, machetes, flares, anything they could find. But nothing could harm it. The beast snapped its jaws shut, crushing the tower supports. The survivors leapt, hitting the ground hard, rolling in the mud. Two were not so lucky, dragged into the maw of the creature, their silhouettes visible as the Spino lifted them into the air. Blood and venom rained down. Marlowe crawled into the undergrowth, clutching his satchel. Inside was the last vial of glowing venom he had taken from the fossil. He realized then that it might be the only thing capable of destroying or controlling the beast. The Venom Spino raised its head to the sky again, roaring, its sail illuminated by lightning. The hunt was not over. It had only just begun. Morning came, but it brought no safety. The storm had passed, yet the jungle was drenched, and the smell of venom still lingered. The survivors, now reduced to 3, pushed deeper into the marsh. They hoped to reach an old riverboat that could carry them away from the cursed land. But the Spino was faster. As the sun pierced the clouds, the beast emerged from the water itself, a monstrous shadow rising from the river, dripping venom like molten poison. Its eyes locked onto them instantly. "Run!" Marlowe shouted. The chase was brutal. The creature crashed through trees, tearing them like matchsticks, each step shaking the earth. The survivors reached a clearing where the ruins of an ancient stone temple stood, a relic of the very civilization that had once warned of this beast. Strange carvings of a serpent-like Spino lined the walls, depicting battles between man and monster. Marlowe realized the truth. This beast had been worshipped and feared for centuries, and the venom was its curse, passed through time. The Spino roared, smashing into the temple, shattering stone. One survivor tried to distract it with a flare, but the creature snapped its jaws around him, venom spraying. His screams echoed across the jungle, silenced as quickly as they began. Now only Marlowe and one woman, Eleanor, remained. They ran into the heart of the temple, where a massive pit descended into darkness. The Spino followed, its roar vibrating the ancient stones. Elena whispered, trembling, "We can't fight this thing." Marlowe's hand tightened on the vial. His eyes burned with both fear and determination. "No, but maybe we can trap it." The beast lunged forward, smashing through pillars, its venom dripping and burning into the ancient floor. The final battle was coming. The temple shook as the Venom Spino charged. Lightning split the sky through broken walls, illuminating the monster in flashes of horror. Its massive sails scraped the ceiling, its venom sizzling against stone. Marlowe and Elena stood at the edge of the pit, nowhere left to run. The beast roared and lunged. At the last second, Marlowe pulled out the vial of venom, the very essence that had resurrected it. With a cry of desperation, he hurled it into the Spino's open jaws. The glass shattered, and the venom within reacted violently. The beast staggered, its glowing saliva boiling, its body convulsing. "Now!" "Push it into the pit," Marlowe shouted. Elena grabbed a broken spear, jabbing at the creature's face. Together, they fought not with strength, but with cunning, dodging its snapping jaws, striking at its eyes, forcing it back inch by inch. The temple floor cracked under the Spino's weight. Finally, with a deafening roar, the beast lost its footing. The ground gave way, and the Venom Spino toppled into the pit, roaring as it fell into the abyss below. The sound of its scream echoed for what felt like forever, until it was swallowed by darkness. The jungle fell silent. Marlowe collapsed to his knees, exhausted, soaked in blood and rain. Elena sat beside him, trembling. "Is it over?" she asked. He looked into the pit, his face pale. The glow of venom still shimmered faintly in the depths. He whispered, "For now." Because deep below, where the monster had fallen, something still moved. The Venom Spino was not dead. It was waiting. Its reign of terror was far from over.